Morning, fam. So yesterday we saw really the beginning of Jesus's ministry, and we saw how he did miracles to fulfill what the prophets have said. Um, in today's reading, we see Jesus calling some of the disciples and then continuing to do miracles and continuing to do teaching. In today's reading, I went through the all four gospels, I think it was, where each one relates the story of the paralytic child being led down through the roof of where Jesus was teaching, and Jesus heals him. And the Pharisees were like, "That's blasphemy. You can't heal people, or you can't forgive sins." Uh, Correction. So he saw the faith of the people that led the paralytic down through the roof, and he forgave their sins. And so the Pharisee said, "Well, you can't forgive sins." And he says, "Well, what's easier for me, just to say, hey, your sins are forgiven, or for me to say you're healed? Take up your pallet and walk." And so he said, "So that you may know that the Son of Man has power or authority here on earth to forgive sins." Then he healed the guy. And so there's another reason why Jesus did miracles, is to prove that he is God. Really great, time in the New Testament, as we're seeing the beginning of Jesus's ministry, really the formation of the disciples, the beginning of the expectation of the people. Right now, because he's doing miracles everywhere he goes, people are bringing sick people to him, and wanting them to get healed, and dead people to them, and all of that. And so there's a lot of buzz being created right now in where we're at in the gospel so far at the beginning of Jesus's ministry. So anyways, that's where we're at. I'm not sure that there's much takeaway in terms of my own personal life, but just the realization that Jesus is God, and he claimed to be God, and he said, and he used that one example to prove that he had authority to forgive sins.